Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome to Barira's Faith Journal. Have you ever had someone oppose you so completely that you stopped seeing them as a person and just saw them as an obstacle? It's easy to do. Once someone becomes the enemy, we stop paying attention to who they actually are. We stop asking what they want, what they fear, what might actually move them. Rasulullah never made that mistake. He was one of the finest readers of human nature in history. And he used that skill on everyone, including the people who hated him the most. There's no better example of this than a man named Abu Sufyan. For years, Abu Sufyan was one of the fiercest enemies Islam ever had. His own wife had personally arranged for the killing of the Prophet's uncle Hamza and had disfigured his body afterwards out of pure hatred. Abu Sufyan himself once believed he had succeeded in killing Rasulullah at Uhud and had returned the following year to finish what he thought was unfinished business. This was not a man you would expect to become an ally. But Rasulullah didn't just fight Abu Sufyan. He studied him, and over years, without ever forcing the issue, he began to change the relationship. He married Ramla, Abu Sufyan's own daughter, making himself Abu Sufyan's son-in-law. It was quite a move, but it mattered. It was harder for Abu Sufyan to fight a family member than a stranger. When Abu Sufyan eventually traveled to Medina to try to renegotiate a broken treaty, none of the Prophet's closest companions, not Uthman, not Abu Bakr, not Ali, agreed to speak on his behalf. Dejected, he went to his own daughter, hoping she would intercede for him with her husband. She refused to even let him sit on the bed in her home, telling him plainly that he was not worthy of it. It was a small moment, but it told Abu Sufyan something enormous, that Rasulullah was a man of his word, someone who couldn't be manipulated, even through family members. Eventually, when a massive Muslim army approached Mecca, Abu Sufyan converted reluctantly by his own admission. And here's where the real lesson begins. Rasulullah didn't rush him. He didn't demand instant total devotion. He understood that Abu Sufyan still carried an attraction to power and status even after converting. And instead of punishing that, he worked with it. He gave Abu Sufyan a position of honor. Anyone who seek refuge in Abu Sufyan's house during the conquest of Mecca would not be harmed. Think about what that did. A man who had spent years trying to destroy the Muslims was now being given the dignity of protecting them. Abu Sufyan didn't just accept Islam, he became one of the reasons Mecca's resistance softened, urging his own people to surrender without a fight. Rasulullah had turned his most dangerous enemy into someone actively working for peace, not through force, through understanding exactly who Abu Sufyan was and what he needed to feel valued rather than defeated. This wasn't a one-time trick. He read people constantly and adjusted how he treated each one. Take Sa'ad bin Ubadah, a trusted companion, given command over troops during the conquest of Mecca. In a moment of triumph, Sa'ad declared, "Today is a day of war. Sanctuary is no more." Words that directly contradicted the Prophet's policy of mercy towards Mecca's people. Rasulullah immediately had the command taken away from him, but rather than stripping his family of honor along with it, he gave that same command to Sa'd's own son, enforcing discipline while still preserving what the family had earned. Or take Umar ibn al-Khattab, a man so fiercely opposed Islam that he was known to speak of killing the Prophet himself. One day, enraged to learn that his own sister had converted, he went to her house intending to confront her. Instead, he found her reciting verses from the Quran. He was moved and he converted on the spot. Rasulullah didn't see Umar as simply an enemy to be neutralized. He saw a man whose fire and intensity, once redirected, could become one of Islam's greatest strengths, which is exactly what happened. Even his own companions were led differently based on who they were. Abu Bakr was steady and generous, so he gave freely and led by quiet example. Abdurrahman bin Auf refused charity when he arrived in Medina with nothing, choosing instead to work in the market until he became one of the wealthiest Muslims of his time. Rasulullah didn't force a uniformity. He recognized each person's nature and let them grow within it. There's a hadith that captures this perfectly. People are like ores. Those who were excellent before Islam remain excellent within it once they gain the right knowledge and understanding. That's not a small idea. It means a person's core nature isn't something you fight against. It's something you learn to work with. A few things this story left me thinking about. Before treating someone as an opponent, there's a real value in trying to understand them. What they want, what they're afraid of, what would make them feel respected instead of cornered. Correction doesn't require public humiliation. Discipline can be firm and clear while still protecting someone's dignity. The way Saad's command was reassigned within his own family, not stripped from it entirely. People don't usually change instantly. Abu Sufyan's transformation happened gradually, over years, not overnight. And it helps to look for what's already strong in someone rather than only what's wrong. People are like ores. The excellence is often already there, waiting to be refined. This week, I found myself wondering, is there someone in my life I have stopped trying to understand simply because I had already decided they were my opponent? I have the urge to reply to people on the spot, in the moment, and more than once. That's come back to me in the form of loss, relationships strained, moments I wish I had handled differently. And it's not just that, I expect instant change too. When I say something, I need it to be understood right away. I need the other person to change immediately. But it doesn't work like that. It never did. This episode made me realize something I already knew. If I'm honest, but kept ignoring, the real work isn't in fixing other people faster. It's in doing the work within myself first. Building my own patience, building my own understanding before I expect either from someone else. And there's something almost validating in seeing this play out in Rasulullah's own strategy. This wasn't just a spiritual advice, it's a technique. The same patience, the same understanding before judging is something modern psychologists and personal coaches still teach today, centuries later, because it works. So this week wasn't about learning something new. It was about finally sitting with something I already knew and choosing to actually apply it. Ya Allah, give us the wisdom to see people clearly, not just as obstacles or enemies. Help us correct with dignity and lead with patience. Soften our hearts towards those who oppose us, the way you softened Abu Sufyan's heart in time, and help us recognize the good already placed in the people around us. Ameen Ya Rabbul Alameen. All informations are derived from Darussalam publication. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.